Friends, good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Very nice to meet all of you. Particularly the project management, very important. And I'm very happy to see so many of you working in one way or other in the field of project management and giving leadership to the projects. So I'd like to greet all of you. I'd like to greet Mr. Adesh Jain, President, Project Management Associates, and my friend Dr. A.S. Pillai, CEO BrahMos, and Dr. G.S. Krishnan, NASA, Dr. R.C. Panda, Member Central Administrative Tribunal, Shri V.P. Singh, the Director Project NTPC, and Arvind Agarwal, MD IPMC, and the esteemed organization leaders, project managers, and distinguished guests, my greetings to all of you. Friends, I am indeed delighted to address the special address to the participants of the Global Symposium on Festival of Thinkers and Doers, organized by Project Management Associate India. So I am very happy to see thinkers and doers, because thinking one part of life, another part is doing it. So most of you doing both of them, I think, thinking and action. So I'm very happy to see and meet all of you. I extend my greetings to the organizers, project leaders, and delegates from India and abroad, and distinguished invitees from various parts of the world. While executing various national programs, my team and myself gone through certain experiences in project management and leadership. We come across great leaders. Based on our experience, I would like to discuss on the topic, the evolution of a creative leadership. The topic I have selected, evolution of creative leadership. Okay? Topic is okay? Yes or no? At least respond, I say. Topic is okay? Okay. Now, leadership, as you know, is the essence of a good project management. As you all know, you are experts. How to make our project management system of our country most effective and ensure the accelerated development of the nation, which will transform and sustain the nation as an economically developed, prosperous, happy, and peaceful society in the world. For that, we need today is to have a creative leadership at all segments, not one segment, at all segments of development, particularly in program and project management. Friends, I have seen myself and my team, this one of the guys, Dr. Swadan Pillai, he was with me for 30 years. Now, I have seen 3 dreams which have taken shape as a vision, a mission, and realization. A space program of ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. A certain very important portion of it, my team was involved. Agni program of DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, that's a missile program. And then third one is PURA. PURA means providing urban amenities, rural area, becoming the national mission. These are the 3 programs. I have my team, thousands have worked. So I'm going to give you some experiences. I have worked in all these 3 areas. I would like to convey to you what I have learned on leadership from these 3 programs. Leadership, what type of leadership emanated, what type of leadership created, and what type of leadership was there at that time. Now, first thing I learned was, out of these 3 programs, leader must have a vision. I am going to give an example how the leader which I have come across, they had the vision. The leader must have a passion to realize the vision. Vision alone not sufficient. Leader should have a passion to realize the vision. Third one, leader must be able to travel into the unexplored path. Leader, as you know, never travel in the path somebody has prepared. So leader must know, must be able to travel into an unexplored path. Leader must know how to manage a success and failure. You know, you can easily manage a success, but failure, how do you manage? I am going to give you some story about it, real story. The leader must have a courage to take decision. Today our problem is the nation, the courage to take decision. I am going to give you an example. Leaders should have the nobility in management. Then people say management, nobility, they are apart, South Pole, North Pole. But I don't think so. You know, what do you say? What do you say? They are together. So leader should have nobility in management. Leader should be transparent in every action. Leader should be transparent in every action. Leader becomes the master of the problem. Problem doesn't become the master and you are individual or the leader. The leader becomes the master of the problem, defeat the problem and succeed. This is another unique quality of a creative leader. Then most important of 21st century leadership, leader must work with integrity and succeed with integrity. Very tough, isn't it? Leader should work with integrity and succeed with integrity. So I am going to give each case an example whom I have come across. What is the result? Let me illustrate these characteristics through our national programs and my recent discussion with members of UPSC annual lecture program. I gave annual lecture program in UPSC last week. Some feedback I got from the lecture. So I have put all of them together and presenting to you. I have included some thoughts which emanated during the discussions. Now let us look at one simple thing. Today, the food we are not importing, isn't it? And the vision for the first green revolution emanated during 1960s, 70s from the political leadership of C. Subramaniam. He was the food minister. With the visionary leadership of C. Subramaniam, the team with the scientific leadership of Nobel laureate Dr. Norman Borlaug and Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, with the active support of Sri B. Sivaraman, Secretary Agriculture, and Dr. M.S. Swaminathan in partnership with agriculture scientists and farmers liberated India from the situation of what was called ship-to-mouth existence. That is, scientists work in the farms. This is unheard of these days. But it's at that time, the first green revolution time, the agriculture scientists were with the farmers. Through an effort of historical magnitude, India attained near self-sufficiency in fruit through seed-to-grain mission. I call it first green revolution is a seed-to-grain mission. Seed, you put a seed, grain you get, seed-to-grain mission. As a part of this first green revolution, the country has been able to produce over 236 million tons of food grains per year now. Of course, farmers played a pivotal role in working with agricultural scientists in farm itself. The political leadership and the scientific leadership has been able to build the capacity among our scientists, researchers, and farmers to take up the mission of second green revolution, which is indeed a knowledge graduation from characterization of the soil to the matching of the seed with the composition of the fertilizer, water management, and evolving a pre-harvesting technique for such a condition. The domain of the farmer's work would enlarge from the grain production to food processing and marketing. That's the second green revolution. India has now earmarked upon the second green revolution, which will enable it to further increase the productivity in the agricultural sector. By 2020, India would require to produce over 340 million tons in view of population growth and increased purchasing power. The increase in the production would surmount many impending factors, such as reduced availability of the land. 170 million hectares would reduce to 100 million hectares, shortage of water, and reduced availability of agriculture workforce. Our agriculture scientists and technologists in partnership with farmers have to work for increasing the average productivity per hectare has been increased 3 times compared to the present productivity. The type of technologies needed would be in the areas of development of seeds that would ensure high yield varieties even under constraints of water and land. Friends, this agriculture, even though we take it granted, I have seen if the wheat ship doesn't come, what type of India we will have in those days. Prime Minister has to go to various countries to ask for food. That was the situation. Today we take it granted because we get 236 million. That's a vision. That's really visionary leadership in political system and scientists together. Now I'm going to talk to the passion to realize the vision. Passion to realize the vision. Vision alone not sufficient. I'm going to give a leader who has the passion for the vision. Now let me describe to you an example how passion for realizing the vision has facilitated the successful and on-time implementation of a $2 billion metro rail project by the managing director of the public sector organization. We don't go anywhere else. In Delhi, there's a man who works with a passion is there. I suppose you all know. You all know. You don't need to go outside the country. You don't need to cross the Indian Ocean or Atlantic Ocean. In our ocean itself we get. Now, the Delhi Metro Rail project has given to the nation the potential of executing a fast transportation system using high technology with reliability through time-bound mission mode operation. Delhi, the capital of the country with over 20 million population, has the distinction of having a world-class metro rail with frontline technologies. The work on the metro rail commenced 1st October 1998. And the first phase with 3 lines covering 66 kilometers has been completed by December 2005. Today, overall route length created by Delhi Metro is around 190 kilometers. Every day, Metro handles minimum movement of 2 million passengers. 2 million passengers. Delhi Metro Rail Corporation has brought to the country the most advanced rail technologies for the first time. Here is a leader who has a passion for excellence. The notable gains to the country are lightweight stainless steel, a sleek, modern trains with pneumatic springs, regenerative braking, public information display, wide vestibules, and automatic doors. The sophisticated coach technology, which was most available in the country so far, which was not available in the country so far, has been transferred to Bharat Earth Movers, Bangalore, which is now assembling these trains with progressive indigenization. BML is now in a position to supply train set needed for phase 2 of the Delhi Metro Rail project and meet the requirement for metros coming up in other cities of the country. You have to celebrate our successful heroes. Now, Mr. E. Sridharan, the managing director of the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, has ensured that all the scheduled sections were completed by the target date or before and within the respective budgets through his program management skills. The dedicated, transparent leadership backed up with professional competence of Mr. Sridharan has given to the nation one of the best transportation systems of the world at the most economic cost. He is a recipient of many national and international awards. Also, he is the demand for undertaking the development of metro system in different countries of the world, which has politely declined due to the preoccupation with the committed Indian program. Now, friends, I have talked to you, the missionaries, and another is a passion, men of passion. I talked to you. Now, traveling unexplored path, third area, third leadership. Traveling unexplored path, I'm going to talk to you. I was fortunate to work with Professor Vikram Sarabhai for 7 years. While closely working with him, I saw the dawn of the vision for the space program in the one-page statement. He didn't write 100 pages or 200 pages. He made one-page statement. Even now, it's a record. Witnessing the evolution of this one page by cosmic ray physicist, Vikram Sarabhai, cosmic ray physicist, a great scientific mind, and be a part of the team which has been working ceaselessly for many years to realize the vision has been really great learning for me. Also, I was thrilled to see the unique way in which Professor Vikram Sarabhai defined the vision for space program in the year 1970, which states what he said in his statement. I have taken from his statement, quote, India, with her mighty scientific knowledge and powerhouse of young, should build her own huge rocket system and also build her own communication, remote sensing and meteorological spacecraft and launch from her own soil to enrich the Indian life in satellite communication, remote sensing and meteorology. The projects selected in space program are designed to meet the societal needs. That was what he said. Today, Indian space programs, the only program considered as a society-based program, even though it was considered 70, wherever I go in the international conferences, it's recognized Indian space program is society-based program. Total 150 transponders are there in the geosynchronous orbit for providing connectivity to the 600,000 villages what we have in the country. If I look at this vision statement today, I'm overwhelmed to see the results of this statement. Today, India can build any type of satellite launch vehicle, any type of spacecraft, and launch them from Indian soil. India has also launched Chandrayaan and has successfully placed the satellite lunar orbit. Now it's preparing for manned mission to other planets. India has proved that through space science and technology, we can provide effective communication, resource mapping, disaster prediction, and disaster management system. I found Professor Vikram Sarabhai always taking an unexplored path for translating every one of his thoughts and actions. It will be quite different from the way of thinking will be unique in it. So I was fortunate to work with him. Now, friends, we have seen so far three great human beings. Now I am going to fourth. Managing success and failure. 3 decades ago, while I was working at the Indian Space Research Organization, I had the best of education which won't come from any university. I will narrate that incident. I was given a task by Professor Satish Dhawan, then chairman of ISRO, to develop the first satellite launch vehicle SLV-3, put the Rohini satellite in the orbit. It was one of the largest high-technology space program undertaken in 1973 at that time. The whole space technology community, men and women, were geared up for this task. Thousands of scientists and engineers and technicians worked, resulting in the realization of the first SLV-3 launch on 10th August 1979. Long ago. SLV-3 took off in the early hours of 10th August 1979, and the first stage worked beautifully. Even though all stage rockets and system worked, the mission could not achieve its objective as the control system in second stage malfunctioned. Instead of being placed in the orbit, the Rohini satellite went into Bay of Bengal. It was a failure. Now, how do you manage the failure? The mission was a failure. There was a press conference at Sriharikota. That's our space station. After the event, Professor Dhawan took me. We were all working round the clock for months, so we were really in very bad shape. Professor Dhawan took me to the press conference, and there he announced that he takes the responsibility for not achieving the mission, even though I was the project director, the mission director. I was the project director and the mission director, and failed. I am the guy who failed. Now, Professor Satish Dhawan, chairman of ISRO, says, I take the responsibility for the failure. What the generosity is called, management with generosity. When we launched the SLV-3 on 18 July 1980, successfully injecting the Rohini satellite into orbit, again there was a press conference, and Professor Dhawan put me in the front to share the success story with the press. He said, you go and conduct the press conference. Now, what we learned, at this press conference, very tough press conference, there international press, electronic media, and print media, all the guys were there. What we learned from this event is the leader, what we learned what we learned from this event is the leader gives the credit for success to those who work for it, and the leader owns the responsibility for the failure. What a great quality. Every one of us has to assume. Every one of us has. Really, this is the one thing if I communicate to you, the leader has to absorb the failure and the leader has to give the success to his team members. If you all share that experience, it's sufficient for our nation, because we are very badly, we need take the responsibility for the failure. Now, this is an important lesson for all the youth who are aspiring to be tomorrow's leaders, even experienced like you. The great lesson we learn, the leader in any field, political, administrative, scientific, education, industry, judiciary, or any other human activity should have the creative leadership capacity and courage to absorb the failure and give the success to his or to her team. This I learned all the way. I learned it. This I learned 1980, but still strongly holds good. Now I am going to talk to another leaders, two leaders. Leader have the courage to take decision. You are surprised, is there any leader to have courage? But we have leader has the courage to take decision. Friends, I still remember a scene during May 1996. It was 9 o'clock at night. I got a call from the Prime Minister's house that I should meet Prime Minister Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao immediately. At that time, he was the Prime Minister. I met him just 2 days before an announcement of the general election results, before the announcement of general election results. He told me, Kalam, be ready with your team for the nuclear tests, and I am going to Tirupati. You wait for my authorization to go ahead with the test. DRDO DAE team must be ready for action. Of course, the election results was quite different from what he anticipated. That's what democracy, isn't it? I was busy in Chandipur missile range. I got a call again saying that I must meet immediately the Prime Minister designate Sri Atal Bhai Vajpayee with Sri Narasimha Rao ji, the outgoing Prime Minister. Asked me to brief. When I met both Prime Minister designate and Prime Minister outgoing, they asked me, the Narasimha Rao ji asked me to brief the details of nuclear program to Sri Vajpayee ji so that a smooth takeover for such a very important program can take place. To see the importance of it. This incident reveals the maturity. This incident reveals maturity and professional excellence of a patriotic statesman who believed that the nation is bigger than the political system. Nation is bigger than the political system. Of course, after taking over as a Prime Minister in 1998, the first task given by Sri Vajpayee ji to me, to us, to conduct the nuclear test at the earliest. Both these leaders had the courage to take different decisions boldly, even though consequences of such a decision have great national and international significance. Afterwards, it was proved also.